Welcome all to this very special edition episode, special extra one, right here on the BJ Show. Let's get started. I'm your host, BJ. So, why are we doing this episode here on the BJ Show? Not Aussie Footy Show, not Aussie Footy Show, extra SANFL, not International Agenda, not the Australian Sport Edition show, and not even any type. This is the most recent new idea I've decided to do. So this episode will be sharing my reviews and thoughts for all the 18 ovals and stadiums across Australia. So from the 18, we're doing 18 around across Australia. And the reason why I've decided to do this, because I think it's going to be a really good idea to share across the globe. We do play football, Aussie football here in Australia. And I think it'll be really good to know that some I never heard of. So I do apologise with that part, but let's get it on the way. So we do come from the 18th is the worst, first is the best. So let's get it on the way. Let's take on to 18, and we do have that, and it's known as Hens Oval Burn Brew, which is in WA, which there will be a game for North Melbourne and West Coast for head-to-head. It is a North Melbourne home game. So a little bit of reviews and thoughts about this oval. Now, this is only going to be held at 5,000, which is the low for AFL game. Should be a sold out, and it should be great for the community for this oval to get around an AFL game. Should be a good game to watch at Hens Oval Burview in WA. As I've never seen this oval on TV generally, I think this will be great for the AFL to be in this oval. It's a different part of Western Australia. North Melbourne, West Coast do have the chance to have this game played at Hens Oval Burview in WA. That's why I've chosen this one in 18th. Like I said, I don't know what it looks like. I don't know how if the oval is wide, narrow, that kind of style. So I'm really looking forward to what the oval's going to be like, what the grandstand, I don't have much to say too much about this oval, but stay tuned for some more exciting to come. But I do come to the 17th, which I decided to put TIO Trigger Park, Alice Springs in Northern Territory. Look, this oval is the only daytime and only held 7,200 I believe can play nighttime with the lights around the stadium. Well, I think this was the only one why I put 17th. It's one game per year. There need to be more games to Alice Springs. And Melbourne Demons Footy Club is another home base for this. And if you see my reviews and thoughts about this, I think it's a bit more than disappointed. But I think this will be a great game to watch. I've never been there. I think it's maybe not a place to go and watch a game of football as well. But I think, 7,200 packed the stadium to good effort. And stay tuned for the Melbourne Demons St Kilda round 12, 2025 AFL 26 season reviews and thoughts and predictions, all that. Stay tuned for all that. And it should be a game to watch. Absolutely. But yeah, so right here on the 16th episode of the Aussie Footy Show, stay tuned for that on the podcast. But that's why I have chosen this over TIO Trigger Park, Alice Springs, Northern Territory in 17. We now continue on. We come into the 16th place and we go to TIO Stadium, which is in Darwin in Northern Territory, known as NT, and which we are another stadium in the North Territory, close Darwin. And this TIO stadium holds 12,500, which is good crowd for stadium in the North Territory, but really a great game to watch, a football feeling environment. Gold Coast has hosted games from the last few seasons, and they've their last 8 games at TIO stadium in a row, which is very well done and well coached as well. When a team like Gold Coast do play well, love playing the heat, They really do play well to win. I have never been to the TIO Stadium in Darwin or NT, and it'd be a great oval to watch, and I think it'd be a great experience to watch the footy there. I think it'll be great. So I think the oval, and overall in this point of view, is a quite big oval, and the grandstand looks really good. I have watched games from this, and it looks fantastic. So that's why I've chosen TIO Stadium in 16th. With 15th, continue on, we go to LA South Australia, which is Barossa Park. Why 15th for Barossa Park? First time AFL experienced that they've got a lot to improve to make this hell of a ride. So making improve of the grandstand, I think this house 10,000. So it's a good, decent crowd for the AFL. First time for Gala Round as well for the last few years. It was since they started to last year. It was in the Adelaide Hills in Mark Barker. So a very different environment. So I think it's great to have Barossa Park in 15. You know, I'd love to have this higher. I would just choose it higher. If they had a better upgrade and stuff, I'll choose it 100%. And I think it's good for the wine. You know, all to do with wine, how they create the wine in general. Why they do the wine, it's so fantastic. And I think it's a good environment for the Barossa. And I think it's fantastic up the highway and you're there. So that's really why I'm more likely chosen Barossa Park. They've got public transport to go there. It's fantastic, all free service, and including and hoping to add some more seating to the Barossa Park to make it more able 15, 20,000 around the stadium. So that is why I have added Barossa Park in 15th. Here we go, and we do come to the 14th place. Mars Stadium battle right now in Victoria. If this upgrade was buy down, I will totally put this a little bit more lower, but unfortunately it's not. It is coming to 14th place. It's got 11,000, including an addition of 5,000 added seats, will be awesome for the city of Barossa and Mars Stadium. Western Bulldogs is the host and the home of Mars Stadium, to hope to bring more fans down to Mars Stadium to watch the game of football. I think I'd love to go there. It's a very small, narrow oval, in my opinion, and I think they need to do better and bring those stands where all the workers and they're doing all the work, build this stand. They need to get on with it, because they can't get a full 1,000 in the stadium. They want to make an effort and make it better. Let's get in and do that. But that's up to them to make it work. So 14 players for Mars Stadium in Ballarat, Victoria for these reviews. So, yeah, look, we do come to the 13th, and it's Nija Stadium, Hobart in Tasmania. And the other one, it's a lot of more sports this stadium can hold. Cricket, as known as the Champions BBL, well, the BBL Champions of Hobart Renegades, and they are the hosts of the cricket at this stadium. They do have AFL as well. I've never seen a 19,000 pack crowd 500 at this stadium. The hosts of North Melbourne, they do host their games. They're doing quite a few this season. 2025 AFL Premiership season at Newton Stadium. So there's been so many names to this, and it's fantastic. Would love to see a sold out crowd for a footy game at Newton Stadium, but when it's BBL season, it's almost sold out, which is very different. But with footy, North Melbourne have almost up to about 10,000. So on average, that's pretty good effort. I would love to see and go to a game of footy at Newton Stadium in Hobart. It'd be fantastic. So that is my reason why I put Newton Stadium in 13th place. That's so much more history to do with the stadium. We do come to the 12th place North Oval, a mother great attendance of 9,700 off, which is a good. It's fantastic. Been the Gala Round spirit for the third time since it started back in 2022. Why 12th place for North Oval? I think has a great old school grandstand. It's fantastic. A lot of history to the stadium. They do have a brand new bar area, merchandise area. They've got a bar, they've got a restaurant, all updated, ready to be used. It's a fantastic home of football. It is a grand part of Aussie football. They do so much, not just, North Oval has to offer, but they're the home and the best team in this SANFL, which is the team I go for. And I've been going since I was born. So when goals are kicked, the crowd goes huge and grew really loud. So it's great. And I think being a North supporter, which when they're playing finals, it's very, very big. But why I chose in like I said, why I chosen 12 players, I think it's great to see 2 AFL games played, 4 different teams for the AFL since they started back in 2022. And when it's the festival on down at Nord, brings more in the status to the city of Adelaide and in the city of Nord to watch a game of football because it's always fantastic. When it's a beautiful day, you got to prepare, bring your seat down. There's a lot of general admission area, so it's really important to get your seats early in, especially you're going to an AFL game. So that's why I chose Nord Oval in 12th spot. Here we go, we come to the 11th and we're coming into the more permanent ovals almost here on the BJ show. So we come to the Michael Oval in Canberra, ACT, and it is the second home for the GWS Giants. And the crowd holds 13,550, which is good, but I never see it. Michael Oval already holds one game of the year, so the GWS Giants, I think they need to get more games down at Michael Oval. I think it'd be great to get more games, 2 or 3 games a year, be fantastic for the city of Canberra. But getting back to this game, look, well, not this game, but generally of this oval has to offer. It's also a cricket ground, so they have had cricket played on this, but when it's cold, it's a footy feeling style ground. I think it's great for the GWS Giants since they come into the competition. They've played a lot of games there. So that's why I put Michael Oval in 11th spot. We come to another town in Tasmania, known as the city of Launceston, which is known for University Tasmania. It's a university stadium for the mighty Hawthorn Hawks. And when the Devils, known as Tasmania Devils, come into the competition, that's the 19th AFL team, licensed team, they will be going to that stadium. And I gotta say, this will be really good, but Hawthorn is the permanent second home for this. There will be a Hawks versus Crows game coming to this game. They have had a couple this season so far. Round 14 will be the game under lights on a Friday night. Very cold, but this stadium does hold 19,500, which is great. I've been there for a ceremony and it's fantastic. So why in 10th place? Well, look, it's a really football feeling style. It's nothing else but football. They do other things as well, but mainly a sporting commitment. It's the home of the Hawks. So that's why I chose this spot for UTAS Stadium in 10th. One step away from the top 8 for my overall and my reviews and thoughts for the best stadiums in Australia. So we do take a one step permanent and we do start into that now. We do come to ENGIE Stadium, which is the home of one of the Sydney teams named the GWS Giants. I have put ENGIE Stadium in 9th place. Now, it's never a sold out place. It's about averaging about 7,000 to 9,000 on each week in, week out. And look, this game doesn't just hold a base of multiple sports, not just Aussie rules, but also has Olympic record experience and is known for baseball. Now, baseball. You can see the diagram. If you type this stadium in, ENGIE Stadium, which is the west of Sydney, or GWS Giants, it used to be known as Giant Stadium when they came in the AFL. So, why not Stadium? It's a very baseball feeling as well, and Olympics. You got that feeling, and the stadium's got a very narrow oval. So, Giants do host these games. It's great. So, yeah, it's a very sporty environment, any style they choose. So that's why I put 9th place. We get straight into now. We do come to the top 8. Now, the top 8 is really hard to choose. And really, it's great to see I'm sharing what I think is from 8th to 1st. So this is coming to the best of stadiums, mainly stadium and ovals in Australia. So, look, I can't tell anymore. Hopefully, there do come more memberships for the ENGIE Stadium as well. So, 8th spot, we do come to one of the Queensland teams known as the Gold Coast, People's First Stadium. Now, there's a lot of history. Mexico Stadium now, People's First Stadium. It's so many names. So this oval is based on a cricket pitch. It's Look, I don't know what to say. And yeah, a lot of rich history for Gold Coast. Are hoping to get, they got 11,700 against Fremantle in round 12 of the AFL Apprenticeship season 2025. Wet conditions, so you do get a really good crowd. But I think with my record, it's about 15 to 20,000 seating at People's First Stadium, which is okay. It is the home of the Gold Coast. It is the second Queensland team in the AFL, and I think why I chose this before, I didn't even know that was a stadium on the Gold Coast. So, but no, a lot of stadiums and ovals are impossible to get there by public transport, which you need very importantly for. And why making this short, I chose People's First Stadium. Its ornate place is they're not very much a crowd for Aussie football, and they're getting better, Queensland, for their football, especially Gold Coast, and it's going to be interesting right off in each one. We do come to the 7th place. My notes are right here. It is the Marble Stadium. There's so much history of 25 years since we'll share that. Back in March 2000, this stadium arrived the AFL, a mud permanent home, and used to be so many little ovals around Victoria. Used to be the Victorian Football League for the A. Used to be the VFL into AFL, and this is what it's all about. AFL reviews, not the VFL. But let's get straight into it. So my 40 reviews for this stadium are spaced across from the MCG. It's very easy access, transport's fantastic. But the history, known for today is no Marble Stadium, which we know. But they had 3 other sponsors. But it did start open. Grand opening was the March 9th, 2000. So being over 25 years and 3 months. So 2.5 months into from 25 years, and it's amazing. As I said, the 3 names, the Stamens, was Cardial Stadium. They moved to from 2002. It was the second name known as Telstra Dome, and that's the Dome. Then Etihad Stadium from 2009 to 2018, and now currently since 2018, Marble Stadium comes in. So there's a lot of history about the roof, and when you go going, what's a game of football? It's always open up, no roof. It's very basketball style, and they do play cricket. They do host cricket of the Melbourne Renegades, which I'll share very shortly. But the city maximum holds 53,340. It's close to the Adelaide Oval Tenders, which is huge. T20 known for BBL, Big Bash League. For cricket, Melbourne Renegades host all their games during the cricket season, which is real awesome. It's a great footy feeling. I've been there plenty of time. The roof part of it, it's like a reversible, so it opens it out. So I hope that they do a bit more natural light style to upgrade that bit, because then you can get the feeling that you are absolutely in the sun and all that, but being protected from the stadium as well. They should bring that. Then it feels like a football cricket feeling. I've also would like to share that, I love when it's under the roof. I think it's a great feeling for so many teams like Hawthorn, North Melbourne, Essendon. Essendon's mainly home game. North Melbourne's a mother team. St Kilda, there's a lot of teams who play their permanent home games there. Western Bulldogs, Marble Stadium. So that's just a name of a few teams do play their permanent home games at the stadium known for Marble Stadium. So to finish up, that's all we got. Lots of rich history, and I think it's a great stadium. It's a very, very small, narrow, wide oval as well. And you can pack 50,000. We can easily pack 50,000 to the stadium. I'd love to see a 50,000 crowd. That'd be awesome. But never seen it, but you never know. Today is 7th place for Mars Stadium, Marble Stadium. Here we go. We come to 6th. The Big Adder, Brisbane, Queensland. Home of Brisbane Bears, the former name to known as the Lions. This gutter is known back open in 1895. Multiple sports such as at the gutter, which is cricket, international, Australian rules, the Brisbane Lions, baseball, rugby league, rugby united, Olympics, soccer, and multiple set out contract. 42,000 which is good. News to adding 18,000 to make it a 60,000 future for the gutter and for the Brisbane. And also, at any sport at the gutter, as well. So, any more than that, I've never been to the stadium. I would love to go to the stadium. I think it'd be a great feeling to go to the gutter, even do a tour of the history of it, because so much. And they have done the test there multiple times, always get a good crowd in. You know, it's a great feeling. It's a very sporting desire oval, and it's always great as well. So, to finish up, that is in my sixth spot, the gutter, Brisbane, Queensland. We now come to the fifth top five. So now we've only one step to the top four, even top three. But here we go. Sydney, New South Wales, Sydney Cricket Ground, known for the SCG. There is so much rich history from the member side to the general itself. There's been lots of upgrades over the times. But this ground, it's not just the home of footy. There's is home of international cricket. The Big Bash League, Sydney Sixers to play there, and the Sydney Swans in the AFL. This crowd can hold a 48,000, almost saying 48,000 for the Sydney and the cricket. Sydney Swans and the cricket. So, really, I've never seen a packed house of 48,000. But I have seen a 40,000 Sydney home game before, even cricket, which is fantastic. I think there need to be more to that. But making this short, that's my fifth spot for the reviews and thoughts for the SCG. We come to the fourth spot. We have so close to getting to that top four. And we do come to the GMHBA Stadium, Geelong, Victoria. There's so much history, not at Oval, but at Kardinia Park. Now, why is that name Kardinia Park? Now, it was founded in 1951. Then, 1999, there has been multiple spots, such as Shell Stadium, 2001. Then it was Baytron Stadium, 2001. Skills Stadium from 2001 to 2011. Then 10 years later, Skills Stadium show it. Simmons Stadium came in from 2012 to 2017. 5 years later, and currently now from 2017, from 2025, current, it is known for GMHBA Stadium, which is a great name to call the one of the hardest ovals to play in Aussie footy. So the crowd at currently it's 40,000 used to be a 17,000 crowd upgrade, and it looks fantastic. The covers on over the ovals, it looks like floors. The cat style to what Geelong is all about, and that's why I put fourth spot, because I think they did the upgrade. Looks amazing. Now, when they were playing there, it looked awful, but now that seating crowd to make it a 40,000 down at Geelong looks much better. So well done, Geelong. And the GMHBA Stadium, and that is my fourth spot. We come into the top three now. This is quite hard to choose. And I just think the best of the best, we come to the third place, which is Optus Stadium in Perth, Western Australia. Why? The original name was Perth Stadium when they built the stadium. It is a 60,000, one of the biggest stadium seatings in Australia around the country. And this is huge. Optus Stadium has many multiple sports. Cricket, international, BBL, Perth Scorchers, Rugby Union and League, A-League, Perth Glory have played on the Oval for championship. They've done Australian, there's so much. International soccer, that's so much. On the stadium, Perth Stadium, was official opened back in January 2018, which make it over 7.5 years from the time I record this episode, which is almost 8 years. In the new year, it will be 2026. 8 years. At night time, the lights go a disco style, which is fantastic. One of the best in the world. One of the best. You know, it could be in the top 5 best. But it's so awesome to go and watch a game of football or cricket. T20 be fantastic to see that bar of goals when the home team kicked the goal. So that's why I chose third spot for Optus Stadium. We come into the Adelaide Oval. Day second place. I can't say too much. Love going to watch Sandford football. I love watching the mighty Adelaide Crows, who I know we've shared this multiple times. I've got for. And I got to say, there's so much upgrades over the years since they put the Adelaide Crows and put Adelaide Power back to the Adelaide Oval. Richmond was down at Amy Stadium at Football Park, which I think was a very good oval. A lot of upgrade. Then unfortunately no longer exists for Oval. It's Felicity. But again, being that that's down at West Lakes, the Western Suburbs in South Australia. But getting back to the Adelaide Oval, love watching the footy, but BBL Adelaide Strikers at night time, the lights go berserk. Really, the light flash every time a goal kick or a 6 or 4, the lights go into that disco style. Very similar to Perth at Optus Stadium as well. It's a great feeling to watch a daytime, mainly nighttime. Love it. But really now a little bit of history about the Oval of Adelaide, known for the cricket ground back in 1872. So much sport has been held at the Adelaide Oval: rugby league, rugby union, soccer, athletics, archery, hockey, even wrestling. Much more, like concerts. So much you can cover at the Adelaide Oval, the best sporting calendar oval in the globe, as well as Optus Stadium in Western Australia, especially concerts. So that's my reviews and thoughts. Really, what do you think of this? Because there's so much in the world, you can't beat this stadium. It has 100,000 plus. It was opened back in 1872. My apologise of history. We come to the best stadium oval in Australia. It is the home of football since it started the AFL. The home base. And before I name this stadium has reached over the many years of 100,024 packs, the home of the AFL Grand Final. I'm going to now introduce the Melbourne Cricket Ground. I have been multiple times. It's a huge oval. I've done MCG tours. There's so much history. The MCG holds my review. That stadium comes around, goes around. But I'm going to say the biggest stadium, the most seating in Australia, in this country. The MCG has so much history and hosts, as I mentioned, the AFL Grand Final and other AFL Final Series. The MCG was built back in 1859 and the first Test Series was 1992. The World Cup, countless VFL AFL Grand Finals back in 1956, the Olympic Games as well. The MCG does not just does AFL Cricket International, such as the Boxing Test, the BBL Melbourne Stars International Rugby League. They do also do concerts. That is so much for a big oval like that. The MCG, known for the Melbourne Cricket Club, has a MCC, which I used to be a member early in the days. But it was a great experience to know that there was so much rich history for the MCG. The greatest names were in that book. You know, a good experience. I went to a finals, Collingwood and the Western Bulldogs, and it was 2010 final series in September. Went with my brother Matt, and you know, there was some really good moments there. Fortunately, Western Collingwood won that game. So that is why I've chose the MCG as the best one, and I mean the best in the world. They're in Australia, even Australia holds 100,000. You know, you can even hold a lot more, 100,024. I know I went and watched the last time we really had that crowd was over 100,000, 100 plus, even that at the MCG. You can easily pack that many at that ground for a grand final, and you'll get money back from the AFL, and it's fantastic. But that is all we have for this episode. What do you think? From the 18 from the worst to the best, to the first to the best. That's why I'm sharing this. 2,500 is really getting close, and we're one step away. Anytime in this month, known June, now to the end of June, this guy would like to do it. We're one step away from making 150 episodes as well. It's not an achievement, but I just want to get it done, and it'll be a great effort. So, yeah, like, I'll stay tuned for more episodes. When we pass the 100 episode remaining and minus, we will be counting down for the exciting episodes. You know, it's getting so close. We're getting so close to making that miracle. But let's just make this happen and make achievement goal of 2,500. We're really close. We're like over 200, under 250 downloads to go. So make sure you listen to on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or any time, anywhere you can get the podcast. All right. Thanks for listening. All right. The BJ Show's out. Thanks for listening for this special edition episode here on The BJ Show. Peace out. The BJ Show is out. Bye for now.